Hey guys, be sure to check out the Mortar Pod, our weekly video podcast, and also check out the tutorial video for my board game, Travelers of Storia. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another M15 Swiss Draft. Pretty good pack we've opened here. We've got Cruel Sadist, who's fine, but I think I like Stab Wound more. It's a little more quick and to the point. There's also Juggernaut in here. Sunblade Elf is very good for, if you're in green-white. Carrion Crow, very good. Torch Fiend, Living Totem, Void Snare, Rats, Fiend. A lot of very playable cards in here. I think we're just going to take the Stab Wound because it's removal as well as a potential win con. Stab Wound works very well on Living Totem. Tends to work very well on 2/3s, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I think pretty straightforward. Just going to go ahead and take the removal. Okay, so follow-up pick. We've got Constricting Sliver in white, which is very good. I mean, it's a 6-drop, but hard to deny removal. Hushwing Griff, it flies in white and flashes, so surprise blocks occasionally. I think that's useful. Roaring Primadox has some good synergies with the Living Totems and that Shaman of Spring, as well as any other Into the Battlefield effect. I think we're just going to go Constricting Sliver. It would appear to be the best card in this pack remaining. I think I did black-white one other time with moderate success. I think I went 2-1 or something like that. So, yeah, let's just go with the Constricting Sliver. It's removal, so could be good. All right, so now we can take Seraph of the Masses, which is very good. Midnight Guard. Seraph of the Masses is very good because white's got all the token-based stuff, so if you can find the Raise the Alarms, if you can, happen to be lucky enough to get the triplicate spirits, Seraph of the Masses becomes excellent. I think that's why we're going to take it here. Otherwise, I mean, Kirkesh is fine. He's not amazing, but he's playable. I think it's because his triggered ability is kind of, irrelevant for the most part. There's not like a ton of artifact abilities that it works that well with. It's kind of cool with like the Tyrant's Machine, but you still end up paying 5 mana to tap 2 creatures, so it's not like it's busted or anything. Let's take the Seraph of the Masses. I like the Midnight Guard too, but Seraph's a nice potential finisher. I've definitely had some games where Seraph of the Masses took over. Past a Chasm Skulker. That's a sign. What else is in here? We've got Titanic Growth in green, which is fine. Merc Lurker, but it's not going to reward us for being in white. I think we can take the Chasm Skulker. That's a pretty good pickup here. This is a good card. Maybe do some sort of... I actually really like the idea of Chasm Skulker with Seraph of the Masses. If it dies, just get a ton of 1/1s, boost this thing up even more. Or convoke it out easier. Let's take the Skulker. Alright. Now, Siege Worm still remaining. That might be the sign we need for green. Shadowcloak Vamp in black, but also Heliod's Pilgrim in white, which is fine. But I think we got to go Siege Worm here. And if we potentially table those Sunblade Elves, we're going to be looking beautiful. Is that going to happen? I don't know, but let's take a Siege Worm here. I think that might be a sign. 5th pick Siege Worm is pretty good. Supposedly, one of the best commons in the format. All right, pretty easy Elvish Mystic then, I would say. And at this point, probably just going for green-white, I would think. Let's see if that pans out. Wow, pass another Siege Worm. We're going to take that over the Venom Sliver. I mean, yeah, we're getting a lot of 7-drops, but keep in mind every single one has Convoke. So if we can, like I said, find the token cards to cheat these guys out, the ramp's going to help a lot, obviously. More, stuff like Venom Sliver later, if I can get those, that'll help a lot. I'm a big fan of Selfless Cathar. I like Meteorite too, since it's actually removal. But I got to take the Cathar. I've just come to really love and respect this card in this format. Just a really excellent card. Go number 2? Yeah. Yeah, go number 2. I said that in a way that's not ambiguous. Uh, Ephemeral Shields is cool, making stuff indestructible, obviously. But no, let's go Cathar number 2. I'm down. They convoke 7 drops out. We got a solid game plan going at this point. Overwhelm is interesting and all, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling the Primodox. I mean, Overwhelm is actually legitimate if I had, you know, oodles of 1-drops like I appear to be on the path to be doing, but Primodox is actually just a very cool synergistic card, so I'm going to take it. Nothing super interesting here. I think we'll just cut the green, kind of let people know we want to make that color work. Looks like we didn't table the Sunblade Elf, sadly, but I'm not sure if that means it got hated or if it just, you know, there wasn't anything to choose between, so someone took it. I think people had some pretty good points in the last draft about the Wayfinders and the Unmake the Graves. I didn't really seek out that synergy, but I don't know. I felt like, do you guys honestly think I had a bunch of space in my deck for Unmake the Graves too? I'm not entirely convinced I did. Alright, Ancient Silverback's a big fat beater. I think I want the Netcaster Spider because it's cheaper and we've already got just awesome finishers. Charging Rhino, Kinsbell Skirmisher, all fine, but I think we gotta go Spider. It's just a time buyer. At this point I'm just gonna, let's just say we're in green-white, I think. But yeah, Spider's awesome. I do like the Silverback, like I said, even the Charging Rhino, both are fine. Skirmisher's fine. Spider is just, you know, gonna help fill our low curve, which at this point I think this is all the deck really needs. And some removal, it wouldn't hurt, but hopefully we can find some. I'm fine with Gargoyle Sentinel. Blocks all day. Eventually flies in. We don't look like a beatdown deck, so I really like the idea of just, you know, Sentinel sitting there, blocking flyers, blocking the ground, blocking Intimidate, chilling out. Not much else to say. Runeclaw Bear, Willforged Golem, both fine, but Sentinel, I'm feeling that. Oh, yeah, thanks. Okay, so River Marshal, can't make that happen. Wayfinder's fine. I think we want the Pillar of Light since it's actually removal. Heliod's Pilgrim, currently can't find us anything, so I think I'm going to take the Pillar of Light because it feels like in green-white removal is going to be a bit of a luxury that I won't commonly have. So Pillar of Light, a little bit narrow in this format since it's a format that tends to be a little bit quicker, let's say. But I do like that it just takes care of bombs. Like, there are a lot of big fat things that it will take care of quickly, cleanly. Works well with the Warden of the Beyond. Warden is actually just really good because Vigilance still works with your Convoke, but at the same time it costs, I think we still take it. If I have any other way to exile, it would be nice. This doesn't exactly do that. I think I'm just going to take the Warden because it's another creature, and I can actually exile now with the Pillar of Light. Otherwise, Ephemeral Shields is fine. Divine Favor with the Heliod's Pilgrim, or a Runeclaw Bear or something like that. And Runeclaw Bear is fine too, but I'm going to take the Warden because it's uncommon, and I can actually get full value out of it, potentially. Let's see here. Titanic Growth is a good trick. Battlefield Forge is probably worth a ticket and could help me splash for red, but it's probably a little bit unnecessary. And Titanic Growth with all these 1-drops is actually very valuable, so I think I'm going to take that. Alright, Restock is a legitimate spell. I don't get an opportunity to play it very often, and this looks like a deck that could get some very nice value out of it, potentially. That's another card that would at least work well with Wayfinder, so something to consider. There's really not much else in here for us. We've got Plummet for sideboard, but Restock is totally main deckable, so let's take that. Oh wow. So Obelisk of Erd, These are human clerics, elf druid, human. Got a little bit of a human theme, not quite enough to make me feel comfortable taking the Obelisk of Erd, unfortunately. Like, if I got this, you know what I mean? Like, I could take this Selfless Cathar, number 3, as a matter of fact. Honestly, I'm okay with a third Selfless Cathar in this, but I think Shaman of Spring might be the pick because of the synergies with Roaring Primadox. I'm going to take the Shaman. Third Selfless Cathar would have been fine for the Convoke, but I'm going to take the Shaman because of the synergies. I think it's worth it. Ephemeral Shield seems perfectly fine here. Solemn Offering would be a fine sideboard, but Ephemeral Shields is totally main deckable and good. Alright, Wall Mulch, perfectly good in here. Buys us time, can convoke stuff out. Ultac Bloodseeker can be pretty annoying, so I'm going to hate that. Alright. That's the latest Inferno Fist I think I've ever seen. Do I have anything I can even pull up with this Heliod's Pilgrim? I mean, I'm tempted to just take the Inferno Fist to hate it, but I think I would actually play the Pilgrim if I can find an aura in the third pack. Like, just imagine if I find, you know, Divine Favors go late, so if I just want more creatures. Yeah, like this. So we're going to take the Divine Favor here. These are all good ways to buy time. I like it. Sure, Radiant Fountain, whatever. Ornithopter, whatever. So we're up to 20 cards. I'd like to cut the Carnivorous Moss Beast. That could definitely use an upgrade. Our removal is a little bit light, but we've got, what, Titanic Growth is a combat trick. We've got Pillar of Light removal. We've got Constricting Sliver. Not terrible, but could use some more. We could really use some more into the battlefield effects for our Primadox, but Shaman of Spring is fine. I guess that's the only one we've really got. Constricting Sliver doesn't really count since they get their guy back, so it's not really that good a synergy. Feral Incarnation is a legitimate spell. Raise the Alarm is very good with our deck already. This is actually a tough choice. I think I want to take the cheapest stuff. Like, I think I just want to take the Raise the Alarm because we already have double Selfless Cathar, and we already have 3 Convoke spells that I would like to use it with. And it's just such an incredible, cheap spell for the X ones. Like, your opponent plays the Child of Night, your opponent plays the Oresco Swiftclaw, and you're like, okay, I'll chill. Yeah, okay, attack in, block with 1, I'm still left with a creature. I think it's just an excellent card in this format. I really do want the Feral Incarnation and the Siege Worm too, obviously, and the Swiftclaw for that matter. Even Return to the Ranks has some use in here. But Raise the Alarm is like exactly what this deck wants, I think. Okay, Geist of the Moors, good flyer. Netcaster Spider number 2, very good defensively. I think I almost want the Spider. I'd rather have the defensive than the offensive card in this deck, I believe. Because we have such good finishers, I think it just makes more sense to pick up stuff that's going to block really well. And I mean, Swiftclaw is very aggressive and cheap and good, but, and I mean, Sungrace Pegasus is good, but Netcaster Spider, man, this is just, this is a very awesome card. Very good 3-drop. Just helps out with a lot of different various threats. Slap a Divine Favor on it, and he's like, awesome wall to get by. Another Venom Sliver. Plenty of cheap green and white stuff in here, but I think the Spider is the best potentially for us. Okay, so Sanctified Charge is an option. It's going to work well with the Raise the Alarm, but I don't know if this is that kind of deck. I don't think we need it. I think we're more in line with just trying to pick up cheaper beats at the moment, kind of lower the curve, because I don't even really want to run the Carnivorous Moss Beast. I'd rather dump that and get just more 2-drops. I think the more 2-drops we get, the better we're going to end up. Willforged Golem is fine too, but I think I'm going to go with the Skirmisher. It's like a better than Runeclaw Bear, and Runeclaw Bear is pretty decent in this format, so Skirmisher. All right, Marked by Honor can be searched up with Pilgrim, so that could be the pick. There's really not much else anyway, so let's just dump the Moss Beast and take the Marked by Honor, I think. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so second Marked by Honor, no, I think we're just going with the species, but what's our Enter the Battlefield effects? We really don't have any. If I take the invasive, I mean, I'm going to play the invasive species, but what am I cutting for it? I guess Primodox and Pilgrim have some good synergies, so invasive species, Pilgrim, and Shaman of Spring all have synergy. Could take out the Warden of the Beyond. It's not that it's a terrible card, but we only have one way to exile, as far as I can see. So, because I don't think Constricting Sliver works like that. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. I mean, it says exile it. It says if they own a card in exile. We'll have to figure it out. But yeah, let's just take the invasive species, I guess. Midnight Guard is very good. Runeclaw Bear is fine too. We do have a lot of 3-drops already. But, I mean, Midnight Guard is clearly better, especially in the Convoke deck. Convoke a dude out and you still can attack with your Midnight Guard. Or attack with your Midnight Guard and then play a creature and he untaps. So what more can he ask for? He gets double duty. Yeah, we gotta take the Midnight Guard. Johnny's Pride Mate. So life gain, we've got Divine Favor. And that's it. I could have picked up the Sungrace Pegasus, which would have worked well with it, but even Pride Mate being a 2-mana 2/2 is fine in this format. Oppressive Raise for the Pilgrim is cool, but I think I'd rather have the second Titanic Growth, to be honest. I just value it more. Alright, tabling Resco Swiftclaw. Return to the ranks. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only have 6 with the Wall of Mulch. I think let's just take the Swiftclaw. Generator Servant. Oh, Fester Gloom is pretty good against us. I'm going to hate that. Let's see here. Miner's Bane, I guess I've lost to it before. I think Bloodhost is actually a good card. Whatever, we'll take the Sliver. Yet to see anybody play Invisibility. So, we have a good deck. We're going to have to figure out what we're cutting, what we're keeping. But there's plenty of good stuff in here for sure. Alright, let's, why don't we figure our deck out here? Let's group creatures separately. So we've got 20 creatures. We're going to have to make 5 cuts. None of these are getting cut. Sliver's not getting cut. I guess I don't really want to cut any of our 1 or 2 drops. Could cut the Sentinel, but it's kind of actually cool that Wall of Mulch could sack Sentinel, potentially. I think I can cut the Warden of the Beyond. It's not that he's terrible, because he's really not. It's just, I think the fact that he requires me to have a good Pillar of Light target or have Constricting Sliver out to be full value is why he's questionable. But he does have Vigilance. I just don't know what he's better than. You know, I like the Pilgrim's, you know, job in here, picking up the Divine Favor, the Marked by Honor. And maybe we just need the Marked by Honor and not main deck the Divine Favor. But the Divine Favor has a good Pride Mate synergy, so maybe we do the Favor and not the Marked by Honor. I'm not sure. I can pretty comfortably cut creatures in here. I think I am going to try Restock out. I don't get an opportunity to play it very much, and since we're short on removal, it could be valuable if we get flooded or something like that. It's very nice to have that. Maybe we can cut the main deck Wall of Mulch. And then maybe we do cut the Sentinel, because we've got better 3-drops that we're messing around with. This is still 17 creatures. Let's say 18 creatures, because the Raise the Alarm, which is still quite a bit of creatures. But we've got the triple Convoke, so we definitely want as many as possible. So 2 more cuts. all of this seems pretty good. Main decking Pillar of Light is probably okay. I could see it being a better sideboard option, since, like I said, there's a lot of 2 and 3 drop dot decks in this format. You know what I mean? Like a lot of decks that just are like Welcome Turns and whatever, cheap creatures. I think the problem is there's not quite enough super highly played 4 toughness or greater creatures. Like, you know, this can't deal with the Shadowcloak Vamp. It can't deal with all the 2/3 blockers. I mean, at the same time, I've got, I'm short on removal, so it's like an actual, you know, it's an actual removal spell. I don't want to cut any of our 1 and 2 or 3 drop creatures anymore, I don't think. I've already cut enough of them. I don't know. There's just times where this is going to be huge. So it's nice having it. "18 creatures with the Raise the Alarm." We probably don't need the Marked by Honor. Why don't we cut that? It's certainly not that Marked by Honor is bad, because it's not, but just don't know if it's exactly the direction I want to go with this deck. I think I'd rather focus on winning with our Siege Worms and Seraph of the Masses rather than focusing on, you know, getting good value off like Marked by Honor. I mean, Pilgrim still gets to find Divine Favor, but I guess that's it. I don't want to cut the Titanic Growths either, because they're just a really nice trick in a deck that otherwise has pretty low removal count. I could cut one more creature. I'm just not sure which. I still like the Shaman of Spring because card draw is good, and with Species and Primodox, it's really not bad value at all. One more cut. Prefer it not be a creature. All of our spells, though, are... I don't know what to say. All of our spells are decent. I mean, I don't have to play the Pilgrim. I have one target, and the target I have is not insane. Otherwise, if I bring Marked by Honor in, I can cut other stuff. I mean, honestly, I don't need the Pilgrim in here. It's not that Pilgrim's bad. It is fine. It's cool that it gives you the extra value. I have one target for it currently. I could see sideboarding into it if I'm against the hyper aggro deck. Then at least it's another way to find Divine Favor. But until then, 17 creatures, including the Raise the Alarm, which is, you know, perfectly adequate, I would think, for our 3/7 drops. And our tricks and removal are good. I still want the Ephemeral Shields because I want to preserve Netcaster Spiders. I want to preserve Siege Worm, Seraph, Constricting Sliver. I want to preserve these guys that are, you know, our main sources of protection or win con. I want to play the restock in case we get the, you know, flooded. I could see, you know, seeing all of our 1, 2, 3 drops early and then just getting flooded out. So restock could get us back some tricks or get us back a Siege Worm that gets killed, something like that. So I'm going to run it like this. I don't have a problem with this build. It's kind of difficult. It was just kind of difficult to figure out what to cut in the end because I did end up cutting some cheap creatures, but it's just like I've been saying, removal is very important in most formats, and M15 is no exception. And green-white is typically short on removal. We got no Hunt the Weeks. We didn't see any. We only have 2 Titanic Growths, a Pillar of Light, and a Constricting Sliver. So we're going to have a hard time dealing with some threats. So I think we got to keep the Pillar of Light just for those really bomby cards that are going to come up, you know. I mean, alternatively, I could main deck cut the Divine Favor now that I'm not running Heliod's Pilgrim, and I could just play like a Sentinel instead or something. Like, I don't need the Divine Favor. It just works with the Pridemate. Pridemate still is like, what, a 2-mana 2/2. It's a Runeclaw Bear in this format, which is perfectly fine. Maybe we do that. Maybe we don't need to main deck the Divine Favor. Maybe we main deck the... I kind of want the Sentinel. Because I like the double duty that it does as both blocker for Intimidate and fly in and beat when you've got like a stalled board state. So I kind of want to bring the Sentinel back in, and I'm going to. So let's do that. So now it's 18 creatures, which is great. We lose a Divine Favor, but we can always sideboard into that if we need to. I just wasn't feeling the Pilgrim synergies in this deck as much. Certainly not that they're bad. It's just, it's not really interesting me. Alright, so let's sort by color. Pretty even, looks like. I wonder if they're gonna... They go for more green, which is, I guess, fine. I mean, it's pretty even, isn't it? Let's take a look again. I don't know. It looks like we need white kind of early, to be honest, but we need both. I don't know what to say. We almost need... I mean, we need one white and one green. We need both early. So I don't know what to say. Maybe we don't do 9-8. We do 9-8 the other way. Probably not. I think this is fine. I guess we could do 9-8 the other way. I mean, there is significantly more white spells early than there is green spells, but like I've been saying, I need both any way you slice it. I could see the priority. Geez, I used that much time. Alright, well, this is the build I'm going to do. I guess I'll take their suggestion. I'm not going to take their suggestion, actually. I'm going to do the final one being a plains. And looks like just in the nick of time. Wait, what? No, get rid of this. Okay, just in the nick of time making our deck, so we'll see you round one.